Sorry about that, I had a phone call. You need to have the CA glue, and it's best to have some accelerator. Star Bond is where I got them both from. So you got the CA glue and the accelerator. The accelerator instantly dries the glue. So after you put this together, I'll try not to make this video very boring. I was telling you, these little micro applicators for the glue, you just put over the top of it like this, push it on. Really helpful. I use a different one each time I make one. Sometimes you got to clear the glue off the top of it. It does want to fall off, so I'm going to try to get a little bit of glue off the top here. Sometimes that glue becomes an issue on top. You just got to try to keep that nozzle clean. And I don't know if this is going to stay on there now. I used it last night and it was okay, but it's not wanting to stay on. Give me a second here. Okay, you can see how much glue I had to clear off the top of the nozzle in order to get this to fit. So now you can see there's more of a nozzle up there. And what you do is you just push this on like that. Now it's not going to fall off. It's easy. So take this, and after you get that on, push it on tightly, what I do is I put a little bit of the glue right here on each one of these slots. Just like that. I take my spray, I just hit it. Now the glue is completely dry. Next one, you take the next smaller size or the next bigger size and line it up with I call it the cross on the bottom here, and it will fit just like that. I always test fit it first. So take this, just put a couple dots, one on each side like that, and then put this back on. If you keep it away from the glue until you get it on the cross, you'll be okay. And then push it together, and that's the second layer. This one here, just do the same thing. I adjusted these tabs right here in the software so that they will not stick through the bottom of this. So again, I just kind of hit wherever you want. This is going to be the last one on the base. And what I do, again, don't touch where the glue is, or otherwise it'll stick like that. Trying to see where the base is here. I got to look at it to see. Okay, then you push it together like that. And if you want to, you can put another piece down here, but they show two pieces on the bottom. This bigger one, I'll probably add another one on the bottom because my other ones are that way, or maybe I'll just keep it. It adds a little bit more weight, not much, it's just a little piece of wood. But this is going to be the right side where this lever is. That's where the lever for the makeshift or make-believe lever is to recline it. You recline it by hand. You don't use the lever. So now, that's our stand. Now you want to get out of your bag. Kind of awkward doing this right here, but you want to get the, what I do is get pieces out that I'm going to be gluing together ahead of time. And these are the ones that are engraved already. For the footstool or the footrest. And they're backing plates. This is for the footrest. That one got a little burned. For some reason those get a little bit burned when you make them because they're a lot of little holes. A lot of concentration on that with that laser. I'll get out the arm pieces, the armrests, and the armrest pads. And where'd it go? Headrest. And then you got your pins in here that you hold it together with, everything. I'm just going to set the bag down here. Now these are the pieces that these pieces glue to. This is the back. This is the base. It goes right up on top of here. Get that glue out of there. Okay, and this is part of the base as well. And this is part of the seat. So you have 3 boards that go together. You got this one that goes on top of here. You got this one that goes on top of that one. And then you got this one that goes on top of the blank one. You got that one, that one, that one. So when you look at it, you got this, you got this. What I do is I'll take these, set this down, turn this over, and put some glue on here. And because this is CA glue, you know as well as I do how fast this stuff dries. So you take this, kind of in the way here with that glue. Take this, and whichever side you're going to use, I usually use the dirty side down, and stick it holding all of them together like this, tight, so they're even. Use both hands to size them up. And now, hang on a second. For some reason that didn't stick. Probably waited too long after I glued it. That's weird. First time that's happened. Of course it's going to happen on video. Okay. One more time. Take this, hold it together so it's all even. This one is the one that goes on top. But right now, we've got this one here. Now it's glued together. So we got the blank one in the middle, got that one. Now this one's going to go on top of the blank one. Again. Glue it up nice. Since that's blank and that's blank, I usually put a circle or some mess in the middle. Once again, decide which side you want to use. Oh, almost messed up. Make sure your curves are all the same. Put it on there like this. Get it all even. And that's going to dry. It's already dry. Push it down in the middle so it makes contact in there too. So now you have this, a blank in the middle, and this. Now, when you put this up on here, it's going to go any way you want to put it. Make sure that this round part is with this lever. It can be this way or it can be this way, doesn't matter, but make sure it's with this lever. What you do is you take these little pieces here, line them up, and it takes just a little bit because it's kind of precise on the cut, but it will fit just like that. When you do that, you'll notice that this lever piece right here, you'll see this little piece sticking out. I resized this in the slots and tabs resizer because this piece right here was too short and it was back underneath here. So now it's longer, sticks out a little bit, and then your lever will go on here later on. So you got that. It's not glued yet. What I do is I turn it upside down, just like this, and I will run a bead of glue right along there, right along there, right along here, down to bottom on each side. Spin it around, down here, down here, down here, and down here. Now, the accelerator, I just take it, spray each one so it's set. That way it don't fall apart when I'm doing it. So now we have the base and we have the base for the seat. Set that aside for now. We're going to do some gluing of different parts. This is the backrest. Holes up top. What we're going to do is we're going to glue this piece on. What I do is I get it glued on where this just covers these holes at the top, because that's where the headrest is going to go. And of course you want it centered, so it's going to look like this. These are the holes in the back where the headrest goes, the headrest brace. So you have it like this. And I'm going to glue that right now. Always take the smaller piece and put the glue on it, because you don't know where it's going to fall on the other part. So just about 5 dots of glue. Now this is, you want this precise. I usually turn this around to where the top, where the holes are up top. Cover the holes, and then drop it down easy. Hold it for a second. Press it. And there you go. That's the back. Set that aside. The seat is going to go on top of here. But you got this engraved part and you got a blank part. Once again, put some glue on the blank part, a little bit in the middle. Get your engraved part out, put them together, make sure they're, the CA glue dries real quick, so make sure that these pieces are exactly how you want them. I have had to take them apart and it makes a big mess, almost destroys it, but you can fix it or you can make another piece. So now I've got that. If you want, you can glue this on here now. This pad or this seat, you can glue it on here now. Just always make sure that your curves are following the curves. Doesn't matter if it's this way or this way. But what you want to do is put your glue on. And I'm going to do this like this so I can see what I'm doing. It's hard to show the camera at the same time, but I'm going to do this myself. It's easier if you put one end down, line it up, and then drop the other side like this. Push it together. At this point, it's going to be glued. So you have it like that. Now you got your seat, your base, your seat base, I guess, if you will. Now you've got these two pieces. This one gets the smaller of these two. So what we do is we glue this onto here, in between these two slots, and of course centered top to bottom. What I do, again, glue the smaller one first, the smaller piece, which is the engraved piece. Hit a few places on it. Again, I'm going to do this right here so I can see what I'm doing. One-handed is a little bit tricky. Slowly let it down. And there's your piece for the part of the footrest. Set that aside. We got one more. Got this one. Again, it's going to go on here like this. Just like that. So let me put that on there. Again, you just want to let one side down, adjust it to where you need it, get the spacing top and bottom, and then let it fall, let the other side fall, just like that. So you got your evenness all the way around. That one's glued. Set that aside. Got one more. I don't know why. Oh, I got two in here of these because I put one in from a bag from Extra Parts. So pick the one you want there. This is the same as the backrest where it had the holes at the top. You want to put this on. Of course, it's going to cover the holes. It's going to go on like this. You got the blank. You got the engraved. Put the glue on the engraved on the smaller piece. And see if I can do this. This is really small. And then just put your piece on here. Like that. I'm a little bit off, but it's too late because it's glued. You can see it's a little bit off. No biggie. Okay. Perfection is in the imperfections, I've found out. This is your foot piece here. We're not going to worry about that right now. Arm pieces. Got to pay attention with your arm pieces. I don't know how many I've had to rip apart after doing them. You got a blank and you got an engraved. You got two of each. Here's the issue. When you put these together, I don't know if you can see that. When you put these together, See how it's off? What you do, if it doesn't fit one way, you've got to turn this piece over like this, then it's going to fit. Now you can see it fits perfectly. When you have that fitting perfectly, take this, and instead of the engraved one, because you need to position your glue around these slots, what I do is I just put a little dot on the end right here, put a dot here, and then put a few, or a line, however you want, right here. Now, since I just laid this down, you got to make sure that you know where it is. And once you put it together, it's glued. You got to be very careful. And when you place them on the arms of the chair, you got to be careful, because just yesterday I had to rip one apart because it didn't fit. I had one like this, and I had one like this. I've done it before where I had them like this. Your arms don't naturally sit in a chair that way. Your arms sit like this. So that one's glued. This one, let me glue it real fast. Let me check it first. So always double check and make sure that's the way it goes before you glue it, because if it's not gonna fit. Like I said, if you spin it around just that back piece and put it together, see, I did flip it, and that's the right way. I actually had it the wrong way, like this. And there's several places where you can see it doesn't line up. One is right down here on the bottom. Flip it till it fits. When it fits, set that down. Put your glue on the ends, one dot, and then down the middle. Take this the way you set it down, put it on here, be ready to size it, fit it, whatever, with your fingers, because it's going to glue instantly. So now we've got both of these, and as you can see, the pattern's the same on each side at top and bottom. So set these down. Now get into your bag and pull out these two legs, these braces, these are what hold up the arms and the back. Those two, and then there's some smaller ones here. Right here, and right here. These little ones go on the front, these big ones go on the back. I also resized these slots so that they fit the 2.5 millimeter. These guys are for the arms. They're the arm braces. You can set those out. Here's that lever I told you about that we're going to be putting on. You got to glue those together. And then we've got these back braces. And you can kind of put this together. Almost every chair I do differently. I don't know why. I found a good way to do it last night. I'll probably do it the same way. These are your braces for the back. And for these, get that little round thing out of that hole. Okay. So you got these. And hang on one second. Okay, I'm going to continue. My wife's watching a video. I'm going to try to be louder than she is. So, we've got these legs here. What you want to do is you got this one and you got this one. This is the bigger of the two. It's got the tabs on the ends. What you want to do is this one here, they go in the second hole up on the bottom of this leg. So they go right here, facing out. Just like that. Now there's a couple ways you can glue this. You can just put the glue on the tab on the end here, hit it with the accelerator, which is probably what I'll do. Cover the whole tab. Just be careful on the smaller pieces, you don't get it anywhere. Let it soak in just a second, because it will go into the wood if you let it sit. You can hit it with the accelerator. That's dry. Pretty cool stuff. Take the other foot and put it on as well. Just like that. Get it to where you can hold it. And we got some nice music in the background here. My wife watching the video. So, hold it. Let it soak in. Hit it with the spray. Just small squirts. Doesn't have to be big. Okay, so here's your legs that go down for your footrest. The other one goes on this other area down here. What I do is put one side in, pull this other one apart a little bit, and stick it in like that. Same thing, since that's kind of pressure fitted right now, you don't have to do a lot. It's not going to come out. Just put one on there. Put some glue on here. It's a little challenge if you're shaky like I am. Seems like the older I get, the more shaky I am. Just hit that, both sides. Now you've got your bottom part. Now there's one more part, which is this for the bottom, but that is held on with in the bag again. Notice we're getting down to nothing here. Take both of these right here, and these are the parts for, get it right, these are the parts for to add that piece on. The longest piece goes underneath and comes up through the bottom like that. I hold my finger under here like this, holding it in. Get some glue up there. Let it soak in a minute. Zap it. That one's glued. Same thing on the other side. Slide it up in there. Hold it. Glue it. Let it sit a second. Zap it. Those are glued. Now, you got this, which is the last one. That sits right on these tabs on top here. Usually you got to spread it apart just a hair. Again, it's kind of pressure fitted, so it's not going to fall out. What I usually do on this is one thing at a time. I'll glue underneath on this part here. I'll just glue the tops of those, set this down on it. Since I'm only doing this, I'm making a video doing this, I'm just gonna put some glue on it up here, like this, and right here, like this. Let it sit a second, zap it. Now this whole thing for the legs is assembled. Set that aside. I'll set it over here. Take your rear larger pieces, bring your chair over. Remember, this is the right side with this lever brace, the right side. So when you're looking away from you, it's going to be like this. This is your right side over here. Take this, the big circle goes toward the back, and you push it in like that. Put this in like that. Before I put it in, I fill this hole, this slot, with glue. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5. Then set this down in there like that. Hold it flat down in there so it doesn't tilt one way or the other. And then, as you can see, it's straight. Do the same thing for the other side. Get some nice flood in there.
Before we delve into the new and shocking scandal from this past weekend, where Meghan Markle was
Like
caught
that.
in a controversial moment with the husband of the Vice President of
Put this
Colombia,
in.
let's also take a look at another scene that's causing
Like
a stir
that.
on social media.
Hold it
Duke of
straight.
Sussex, Prince Harry is facing criticism for allegedly being disrespectful and intrusive.
I know it looks crooked in the video, but that's because of the angle it's at. And there's that. Those are both solid. Now, that's the back, because this is the front that way. Take these little ones. These go on the front. Same thing. Put your glue. Interesting video my wife's watching. Glue that. Always put these other connectors toward the outside. So this one goes like that. And this one goes to the back. Actually, this is the front.
Look, I have a message for Mr. Jones. Would you give it to him when he comes back? This is the message. Tell Mr. Jones that there's a meeting between his lunch and
Just
his
like that.
2:30 appointment. You got
So,
it?
this is the back of the chair.
Okay.
I mean, this is the back of the chair, sorry. This is the front of the chair. The little ones are in the front, big ones are in the back. Just like this. This is a lever. Again, I'm probably repeating myself a lot, but just want to make sure. Now, this, always remember, these bottom holes, or the set here, the bottom holes are going to go on these, on the front, just like this. They're going to go in just like this. So, how do you put those on? You got these little pins. Take your pins out. I have them sized They're hard to get out of here. I have them sized so that they will fit the holes. By the way, these are the the headrest braces. We'll set those aside for now. These little pins I go from the outside in. So it'll go in this hole right there, and then the square part goes in the square part on the chair, just like that. Now if I get my finger on here, I can bring it around and show you, just like that. So you got the pin goes through the round on the leg and comes through here. You got to hold your finger on it when you glue this on the back side. What I do is try to get just a little bit on each side. You don't want the glue overflowing and coming down into the joint. You want to spray it immediately. Make sure that this is moving freely. If it gets stuck and gets glued, you're not going to get anything moving. You got to let this move all the time. Now that pin's not going to come out because it's glued to this brace on the inside, but it will move because the pin is in that square. It's in the round here and the square here, so it's allowing this round to move around the pin. Same thing on the other side. Put it through the round and then through the square. Once again, hold it to where you can so that you hold the pin in on the square, and then run your glue around it like that. Spray it immediately. Still make sure that we are moving. And you might have to check it every once in a while and make sure that it's still moving. Now you can see it's starting to take shape. This is how it's going to recline. Now, the back braces. This is going to hold the back on. These little circles go toward the front. So it's going to go on just like this. Okay? Bottom ones always go in these braces here. Once again, grab a pin, put it through the circle on this bottom one, and then put it through the square. I did have these to where you had to really push them, and I was breaking my wood sometimes. This turns, the square doesn't. Pretty neat. Now this, go ahead and put your glue on it. Same thing. If you can hit each side on the bigger one, that's great. Spray it immediately. Make sure it's turning immediately. Keep your finger on the pin. These will lock up if you don't keep checking them. See, that's already locked up. You got to force it out. You want to put enough glue on it to hold that square in place, but you don't want to put too much on it to where it's going to lock up on you. This is it's a little bit tight, but it's okay if it's a little tight as long as it doesn't seize up on you. That's part of the reclining process. Keep checking that. Do it on the other side also. Circle goes toward the front, just like this. Get your pin through the circle and into the square. Just like that. Kind of get the idea what to do after you do a bunch of these. we're gonna do this. I gotta make sure I'm still recording. Okay. Spray it. Move it. After that moves, go back to this one. Check that. Still good. That one just seized up. Pull it loose. This one's still good. You wouldn't think that glue would be trying to stick still after it dries, but it's in the wood and it's going to try to grab on. So make sure that's good. Now, these are your back braces, as I mentioned. Your arms are going to go right here in these holes. Here's how you do that. You have a long piece right here and a short piece down here. See the ends past these tabs? The long piece, doesn't matter which way you do it, I found out, as long as you do them both the same. So if you want the short piece in front, you can do short. If you want the long in front, you can do long. These go on the bottom. I'm choosing to put the long in the front. Once again, grab a pin, put it through the circle. Turn this around for you. Put it through the circle. Hold it with the long in the front if you want. Put it over the square. Come on. Put it over the square. Just like that. Do one at a time always. Hold that pin in place. Same thing. Oop. Same thing. Glue, glue. Spray. And now that one's moving. A little bit of slop in there because I couldn't quite get that pin all the way in before I glued it, because it was at an awkward angle because I'm filming. Next, grab a pin. Do the same thing on this back one. In the round. Through the square. If I can find the square. This is really awkward while you're filming. Okay. Hold it. Get your glue. I try to get all four pieces, sides. Spray it. Now, you want to do this to make sure everything is moving on that, so it doesn't seize. Same thing on the other side. Now we're working on the front this way, so you want the long one, the long end here, to be this way, because we're working on the opposite side of the chair. As long as you have it in the front, we're good. Put it through. Put it through. I want to get this one tight, so I'm going to hold it in there like this. I don't know if it's in camera view or not, but I'm going to glue this. Make sure that's tight. Spray it. It's about the same as the other one, but that's okay, because once you get it, I gotta get another pin. Where'd my pins go? Okay, I gotta run and get another pin. I've got one more pin, and then that's it. Shorted myself one. Hang on a minute. Okay. Got my pin. Put it through there. Just hold these parts together. Try not to get any glue on your finger. You'll have a bunch of glued fingers when you're done. Spray, spray, spray. Now, make sure you're moving, which we are. You can do a couple things here. You can put these on. Always make sure they're curved toward the center, like this. Don't do it like this. You'll be mad at yourself. So, what I do, move this over, put some glue in these slots, fill it up, fill it up. Since they're flush, I just put a little line down here. They are flush with the wood since I resized everything. Just put these over here. Come on. Like that. Same thing on this one. I'm kind of out of camera's view here. Fill that up. Fill that up. Little line. Excuse me. Put that one in there, that one in there, hold it. Now we have the foot, we have the armrests, and the only thing left is, let's move to the headrest. Get these couple pieces here. The headrest has the holes on the back. These have the slightest difference. You can see right here the gap between the end and that tab. Top one is short, bottom one is long. Flip it around to where you have them the same. Doesn't matter which you do, but make sure they're the same. Take your headrest, push it down in, take your headrest, push it down in. If you don't have them the same, you'll notice when you put it together that they'll be off. They won't be the same height at the top. So, and you can look at it and see that they're the same distance on the end. What you want to do after you push them in like this, try to get these situated to where they look like they're straight, because once you get it on your back, if it's not straight, you're gonna know it. So push these over to where they look straight, like that. And what I do is, while they're straight, just put some glue on the outside, the inside, the outside, and the inside. They're not going to go anywhere. Hit it with the spray, and those are solid. Now, these other two on the back of your head, your back, go in the same way. Like this. Make sure they're down in there all the way, or it's not going to look right. Come on. And you'll know when it's in there. Just like that. They're flush. I adjusted the tabs so that they would be flush and wouldn't run into this board here. Before they were sticking out a little bit because this is 2.5 millimeter. The 3 millimeter is what it was made for, so I had to adjust everything down to 2.5. Again, on the sides, inside, outside, and spray. Let it soak in a little bit so it doesn't have this big clump of glue on the outside there. Just like that. So now you got your backrest and your headrest. We're almost done. These slots, these tabs on the backrest go right here. So fit these in without breaking it like I just did. I don't know why it broke. When pieces like this break, don't get all upset. All you got to do is find out where it broke. Cover it with glue after you get it together. Try to get it together without too many problems here. Let's see. Okay, that one's in there. Get the one that's not broke first. Let's see here. Slide it in. I'm trying to figure out why this isn't going in right. I might have messed up an engraving. There we go. Okay, so you push it in. Doesn't look broke, but when you glue it, get a little bit of extra glue there, and it'll stiffen that joint where it's broke. So we're going to do it just like this. It was broke right here at this bottom one, across this way a little bit, but now it's okay. Go ahead, spray it. Got a little bit of a bubble of glue there. Oh, stick my hand to it. The other side. Put that glue on there. Let it soak in a sec. Hit it a couple times. Now, you have this much of the chair done, which is almost the whole thing. Last thing is this lever. You want to glue it together to where this doesn't really matter, but I do it. This part here that goes out is toward the front. You always want this slotted piece. Man, my camera's just... I guess that didn't help. Okay, let me turn my camera a little bit. This slotted piece here that goes over this, that's always on the inside. So when you glue it, make sure you're holding this down on the bottom. Put a dot there, down here, wherever you want to. Again, you're going to hold this. It's going to glue instantly, so you want to hold this over and get it right where you want it instantly. Just like that. That's on the inside. That's on the outside. Now, these three layers right here, right above where this tab is, you want to put a little bit of glue on here where it's going to hit. So I just put a little bit of glue there, and then I'm shaking. What the heck? I love getting old. And then you just put this here, line this up on that tab, push it in, and then hold it here against these three pieces. What this does, it just makes it more sturdy for this lever. There were no instructions for these chairs whatsoever. I had to figure this all out. As I put more and more together, I made 8 of them, 9 of them now. It got easier and easier to do. I learned by mistakes. I figured out how to fix errors, all kinds of things. That is glued. Now, when you recline it, it goes down to where this is just under the arm. and it stops right there. Otherwise it would keep going. So it should stay. If you're tight on your joints, it should stay wherever you set it. You put your cards, your business cards, in here, resting against here. You can have a whole bunch of business cards in there, and they'll just hang out a little bit over the edge. And that's it. That's the barber chair. I hope the video was easy enough for you to understand. Have any questions, just post them. Thanks and take care.